Today I wanted to talk about YouTube Shorts for writers. So, disclaimer, I am no great expert on the YouTube Short. I have been putting out shorts pretty much daily for the last 6 months since January, and I've learned a couple things. I think they're a really cool tool for reaching more viewers and also another way of expressing writerly creativity. I want to talk about shorts and encourage you to maybe try making some yourself if you've been avoiding them because they're a new platform. So first of all, let's talk about the purpose of shorts. So YouTube is really pushing them right now. The main thing they can really do is attract more viewers for your channel because they're going to reach a lot more people. So say an average short that I put out gets like 2, 3, 4,000 views. That's a lot more people than I'm reaching with a YouTube video. And if those people stick around, then they're going to also see my other content, which is the stuff that I'm really here for, right? The stuff that I'm like, I put my heart and soul into this. I spent days editing it. These are my original thoughts and the things that I actually value. And the stuff that's in the shorts are more soundbite things. For me, they're a way to pull in people and say, hey, I'm talking about these things that you might be interested in. Do you want to come check it out? There definitely are a couple tricks to making this work for you. So I want to talk about the algorithm really quick. Talking from my personal experience, my shorts tend to cap out at 5,000 views. They do what I call the spike, where in 30 minutes they'll get 3,000 views and then they'll just stop. But typically after even like 48 hours, they're not going to be getting views anymore. They'll just stop. And so that's going to be the word that I'm using is spike, is what makes a video spike, like what makes it get picked up by the algorithm and shot out to all those people. There's a couple different kinds of videos that I make as a writer. Mostly it's lip sync. These are really fun to make and easy to make, and they're not that deep, but they do give a sense that we're in a community of writers who are going through the same things, and they can also be used to give tips, to talk about writing craft, but at a surface level, but that also poses a question that can then go deeper. And so sometimes I'll create a short and be like, whoa, this is actually a really interesting topic, and then I'll make a YouTube video on it. So that's definitely the kind that I found the most success with, and typically YouTube will just pick those up and spike those. And so I haven't really had any trouble with those. Then there's the talking head kind of video like this, where I'm just talking at you. That typically does not do as well. If it actually does get picked up by the algorithm, it'll spike to maybe like 1,000. Usually doesn't go past that. So they just don't do as well. But also I think sometimes they're really worth making anyway. And if a few hundred people hear my opinion on something, like that's a lot of people and I'm enjoying, dialoguing with them. It can also be good for announcements or advertising something that you've put in a long form video if you put it into a short form video, but usually they're just not going to do as well. But I mean, I think you can still play around with them and find what works for you within that talking head style. And then there's the aesthetic video where it's, just like a workspace or like your computer with text over it or just something pretty that can actually do okay. And definitely what does better here is relatability, is if a lot of people can relate to what you're talking about in that aesthetic video, right? So it's not just you lighting a candle, but it's you talking about burnout or talking about writer's block or something that everybody is like, yeah, I actually really feel this. And so you're kind of just like capturing people's attention and a little bit of their daily experience. And so that can also do really well, even if it's not a picture of your face. Okay, audio goes along with this. So what kind of audio does YouTube like? Here's just what I've experienced. Again, just the talking with no other audio. YouTube doesn't love that. Like it's not going to do as well. And then there's sounds from shorts that other people have uploaded. Those do pretty well. That's like the relatable content where it's like a lip sync. Then there's a different category, which is trending YouTube music. So if you are looking for an audio and you go up to the menu screen on YouTube and then there's like a little fire icon and you click that, it'll give you the trending audios. And so YouTube wants to promote shorts that are using trending audios because it wants to promote the YouTube videos that are doing really big right now. And so it wants to direct people to those that are already going viral. So if you use a sound or a song that's going really big right now, like on YouTube in general, then probably your short's going to get a lot more attention. And then one interesting trick that I've found is that when I download a video from Instagram and then upload it to YouTube with Instagram's audio, it does super well. But a few weeks ago, I found out that like when you download it, a video that you've made from Instagram, it takes off the sound, but it didn't used to do that. Oh, bygones. But if they ever bring that back, that's a tip. Okay, this is probably my biggest tip, and I haven't heard this anywhere else, so I don't know if it's just me experiencing this or what, but I found that the frequency and the quality of my long form videos greatly affects my shorts views. When I put out a long form video, that day, if I put out a short, it will usually spike, and the next day, and usually the next day. So that's like day of, 1 day, 2 days. By the third day after I've posted that YouTube video, the shorts will stop spiking. And then the fifth day, if I don't post a new long form video, they just won't spike at all. And so now I know this. And I feel like this is really interesting because it's like incentive for you to keep posting what YouTube is there for, which is the long form videos. And the shorts are competing with TikTok and Instagram. Its thing is long form videos. Like you go to YouTube when you want to learn something. YouTube has a function and it does it better than anything else. And yet they're still trying to compete with this short form. So I feel like possibly that's their way to make sure that people stick with the long form and don't just turn into TikTokers essentially. And the other thing about this is that when the long form video does well, then the shorts do better. And so that's when I had a short go to 10K, which is not unusual for some bigger YouTubers, but like I'm a smaller YouTube channel. Like my shorts don't get above 5K. And so I got one to 10K because the YouTube video was doing really well that day. So that also is motivation to increase the quality of content, actually find the content that people are really looking for and put the effort into that, and that will actually show returns in your shorts. So if you dive into shorts, make sure to keep putting effort into your long form content because that'll help your shorts do better. And also, probably if you started a YouTube channel to talk deeply about writing and the experience of being an author, continuing your long form content is going to be more rewarding anyway. Okay, something interesting I learned about shorts and how to title them. So if you make the titles searchable, just like with a YouTube video, but specifically with shorts, if you make them very searchable, like how-to videos, when people search how-to, your short's gonna come up. And these days, because attention spans are shot, people are more likely to click on like a 30-second video to explain something rather than like a 15-minute video. And so YouTube is pushing shorts at people who are searching these very, very searchable terms. So if you have a short that's something teachable, make sure you have a title that someone would be likely to look up, and then that will be promoted to people rather than long form videos. You can use hashtags on shorts. The basic one is just to do hashtag shorts. And then along with shorts, you can do hashtag whatever is specific to your niche that your video is about. So like AuthorTube or writing or lifestyle or just something that tells the algorithm what kind of people want to see your video. Length of video is super, super important. I don't know everything about this, but there's a couple things I've noticed. Number one, usually when a video is below 3 seconds, it just does not spike. It's like 30 views and that's all it'll ever get. So it seems to me like videos between like 4 to 5 seconds to 15 seconds are the ideal for a short. If something is longer, like up to a minute, then it usually doesn't get promoted, but sometimes that's not true. I definitely have had a couple, but they don't go huge. Like I think really the ideal is between like 4 and 15 seconds. And I guess that really just speaks to attention spans these days. As for posting schedules, I honestly think this is up to you because creating and putting out a short every single day is a ton of work and it can lead to burnout. They tell you like if you really want to grow a lot that you should put one out every day or 2 times a day or something like that. This is true, and I think really what it is just the more the merrier. The more content you put out, the more it will spit it out at people, and the more people will say, who is this person? And they'll check out your channel and then maybe subscribe. The more content you put out, the more views you're gonna get. That's just like basic logic. But I haven't seen a whole lot of evidence that if you skip a day or skip a few days, that then it's not going to promote your next short. I feel like Instagram is a little bit more like that, where it's like really likes consistency. I haven't seen as much of that with shorts specifically, but what I would say is that as long as your long form videos are consistent, usually the shorts won't have a problem picking up. But I think overall, like if your goal is huge channel growth, yeah, every day is the best policy. All I'm saying is balance it out with what you can handle. Repurposing old content. Yeah, I think this is great. I mean, this is a time saver for sure. I always struggle with a feeling of like, is this cheap? Is this like content that is not worth someone's time? I want to be putting value into the world, into people's brains. I want it to be something that they learn something from or helps them feel encouraged about their writing process. And so I always make sure that with my repurposed content that it is continuing to add value over and above the first time that I put it out. So that's just something that I think about. But yeah, repurposing content is fine. A short that doesn't spike when you first put it out may spike way later in the day or the next morning. And if it doesn't spike by 48 hours, like it's stuck at like 15 views or 30 views and it hasn't gone up to 1,000 or at least a few hundred, then it's probably safe to try re-uploading it. Sometimes if I just delete the first one and re-upload it, sometimes then it'll just spike. Why didn't it go the first time? I don't know these things. But you can definitely try that if a video just hasn't gone anywhere and you think it should, right? Like some videos just aren't going to spike, like ones that are below 3 seconds or ones that are more just like talking head videos, they may just not get picked up ever. But if you have a video that you're like, this should go far and it's just not going, then you could definitely try re-uploading it another day. And what I was saying about shorts doing better when they're paired with a long form video, if you have one that's not doing well, try reposting it on a day when you also upload a long video. This tip is one that I myself have trouble following because I'm like, if my content is valuable, people will like it. But that's just not true. A huge part of making people watch shorts and actually getting engagement and then getting them to spike is hooks. So basically, in the first 3 seconds, are you providing a visually pleasing experience, audio that is engaging, and some type of immediate message or text? So basically text on the screen, some type of music or audio that's interesting. Bright lighting, so nothing dark, something that somebody gets pulled into. And then also changing frames. This is the part I hate. I'm like, you know what, if I'm sitting here talking, then you're just gonna have to deal with my face. Apparently, for attention's sake, you should try to change the frame if you're going to have a video where you're talking. So think about changing your frame, changing your circumstance, having an interesting transition, something like that, because people cannot concentrate. Don't be afraid to try new things and fail because it's just like a 5-second video. Like nobody cares. So if you're not getting traction with what you're doing, basically put yourself outside your comfort zone and see how that works instead. Just try to come up with other ways of doing things. The algorithm can be hacked. It doesn't just hate you. You just have to figure out another way of doing it that it likes better. And so just keep experimenting. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over without success. You know, of course, it all comes back to like what your goal is with your channel. If your goal is to like blow up and just get a massive amount of subscribers, then you can take these tips and just go wild with them and, you know, post twice a day and just be on the grind. But if your goal is to create community and to share insight and encouragement, the way that you create your shorts and the frequency might be different from someone who is just trying to get their channel to blow up. Either are okay, but whatever goal you have, you know, temper it to that. I think it's a very awesome way for people who are already on YouTube to get their ideas and their creativity out in a really cool way that's like low commitment because the videos are so short and they don't take a lot of time to edit, and you can get a ton of engagement from them because the algorithm is pushing them. So like they're definitely a tool that you could be utilizing if you wanted to. Give this video a like if you enjoyed or got value from the content, and also subscribe if you want to see more from me. Usually I don't do videos like this about YouTube. Usually it's writing craft tips and tricks and vlogs and just all about the writing process and writing craft stuff, which is what I really, really love. But part of writing these days is also being on social media, so here you go. And also check out my link to my Fiverr down below if you want to get your manuscript developmentally critiqued by me, or if you have a problem with your book and you want to do book coaching with me. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.